Rodney, stay away from Kermit. But, Rodney...
This is Rodney. He's a Rancor. Rodney needs a home, someplace where we can keep him out of trouble. It's gotta be plush, the right amount of sand, a little bit of rock, a terrarium. Yeah, a terrarium sounds about right. Someplace he can stretch his legs a bit and maybe munch on the occasional miniature Gamorrean guard. Because a Rancor's gotta eat. This magical pink stuff is XPS foam, insulation board, or as I call it, the Pink Panther stuff. It's easy to work with, lightweight, and it keeps Rodney cool in the summer and warm in the winter. There's something ultra satisfying about cutting foam with a hot wire tool. It makes great shapes, but make sure you wear a respirator. Using this makes it smell worse than a Womp Rat barbecue at a Tusken Raider family reunion. I'm pretty sure I have zero idea how to use this particular wire cutter, as you can clearly see. Initially, I was using a razor knife in combination with a box cutter. This sort of worked, but later I'll show you how effective a razor knife can be if it's used properly. Big thank you goes out to our Smugglers Guild over on Patreon. Your constant support is keeping us motivated, and we hope you're enjoying all the behind-the-scenes looks at all of these projects as we learn our way through it. If you're interested in checking that out and getting more of the Smugglers Room behind the scenes, head over to the link below and check out the Smugglers Guild. You ever get really excited about a new technique that you want to try or some kind of new way of making something, and you get so excited about it that you try every single one of those techniques at once? Yeah, that's what I did. As you can see, it's kind of a hot mess. We've got a mixture of the plaster stone pieces that we've made. You can see various parts of them that were glued in place. And then we have basically a lot of the sculpt-a-mold, a little bit of plaster, some plaster of Paris, I was trying everything to try to make these plaster rocks adhere and look cohesive, as well as look like they actually belonged in there. The truth is, what I realized is that the plaster rocks, when you're using those, they need a fairly flat surface behind it for them to adhere well to. And I'm trying to make pieces fit where they didn't want to go. So at the end of the day, this thing right here, this isn't going to do it. But I've spent a little time doing a little more research, and I found a solution. This looks a lot better. It has some actual rock-looking textures and scores and pieces. It looks kind of like a rock face. Much better. I'm a lot more pleased with the detail we were able to get on the rock face this time around, just by changing up the way I was doing it in a different technique altogether. This terrarium is going to sit on a spot on our falcon bench where it can be looked at from multiple sides. So we're creating a couple of interesting ways to peek in and see Rodney in his environment. You can't have a Rancor Pit without the iconic gate. So we whipped up something in Illustrator, laser cut it out, and we have a pretty fair replica. Have to say, we're pretty happy with it this far. These long tweezers worked so great to help clean out bits of foam and also help pull away foam to add texture. We're gonna seal it, but there's one more important thing: aluminum foil. The rock is coming along, but when you ball up some foil, you can use the foil ball to create additional texture in the soft foam. Our buddy over at Boylai Hobby Time taught us this little Mod Podge trick. Adding paint to it, it gives you a great base color and it seals up the foam. Check out Boylai Hobby Time. Now we add some simple dark wash. A little bit of burnt umber mixed with some water, it gets in all the nooks and crannies and helps sell that rock texture. Finally, we do a bit of dry brushing with bone white and everything comes to life. We're about to move on to the base, and we need to put in plenty of sand. Awesome enough, I happen to have here some California beach sand. It's the perfect texture. It's sand right from the beach. It's about as close to the Sarlacc pit sand as we can get. I'm gonna be honest with you, my friends. The pre-mixed tile grout seemed like a really great decision at the time. And then I second guessed it and I tore it all out, mostly because of how wet it was against the base MDF, and that started to swell and I panicked. Truth be told, if I would have sealed the MDF and put the tile grout on the top of that, mixed it in with the sand, I could have developed a really cool texture, but I didn't. So we're gonna have to live with that, and you'll have to see later what we do to fix it.
All right, my friends, we've only just scratched the surface of what this is about to become. We have all the details left to finish, the entire encasing to put around it, and then we got to get it put into the room build so that we can have a proper terrarium for Rodney here. So we'll see you next time we build something out of nothing.